This resolution is about Law Enforcement Week, and I have to say that in looking at the room, at our staff specifically, and those in uniform or otherwise, all of us look back at our careers, and this week is special to us. And I know for me personally, the first person I know that was put on the wall in Washington, D.C. was in 1984, Special Agent Cliff Browning of the FBI. I worked with Cliff back in 1984. And then, of course, in Jefferson County, my first field training instructor, Tim Mossberger, was killed in the line of duty in 1995. So this hits home to people in law enforcement. And furthermore, if I can spend just a moment with you, in the last week or two, I received this document. It's the 2022 end-of-year preliminary law enforcement officers fatalities report, published by the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. And what's astonishing about this in our line of work is the fact that 226 federal, state, tribal, and local law enforcement officers died in the line of duty in 2022. And what it says in this report is 64 officers were shot and killed in the line of duty in 2022, mirroring the 64 officers who were shot and killed in 2021. This continues, and this is a quote, "This continues a disturbing trend of an increase in firearms-related deaths compared to the average number of officers killed by gunfire each year in the prior decades." And just as alarming, the number one circumstance as identified in this report of officers being killed in the line of duty was by ambush. So law enforcement, I've always said this, it's the most difficult job in America. And I appreciate the Board of County Commissioners. You in general have always supported law enforcement, and specifically, we enjoy a heck of a lot of support from you as commissioners, so we appreciate that much. So Commissioner Layden, I'd love to read this resolution.
Sure, please.
Okay. This is a resolution proclaiming May 15th through 21st, 2023 as Law Enforcement Week in Douglas County, Colorado, and honoring the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. Whereas more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. And whereas, since the first recorded death in 1786, more than 23,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and have been killed in the line of duty, including Sergeant Wayne Bryant in 1978, Deputy Ron King in 1999, Deputy Zach Parrish in 2017, and Detective Joe Pollock in 2021. Whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas 556 new names of fallen heroes were added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 224 killed in 2022 and 332 officers who died in previous years before 2022. Whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed on the line of duty will be honored during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 35th Annual Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13, 2023. And whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Douglas, Colorado, formally declares May 15th through 21, 2023 as Law Enforcement Week in Douglas County, and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in communities across this nation. So hopefully this resolution will be passed and adopted by this board on the 9th day of May, 2023 in Castle Rock, Colorado. Thank you.
Sure,